Hello, everybody. Welcome to NNN Live Show.
Good evening. How are you? Everybody anxious to hear about the Prime Minister's message in Malaysia.
He's actually in our this as a guest of honor tonight with us. Is he going to do Falcon
He
Global?
was going to, but he said he had many things to do.
All right, I see. That's cool. That's cool. So I think today is going to be really challenging because we are up against this Prime Minister for today. So but I guess he's probably going to deliver some good news because it has always been quite gloomy, for quite some time for a lot of us. And I'm worried that the longer that we are being cooped up under the MCO restriction, especially in Malaysia, then I think it's going to be quite chaotic for people's life. I can see that the gloominess has not left you at all.
No. No, it's not gloomy. It's a little quick personal story. I've traveled around talking about health and water and nutrition for years, and I've seen volcanoes, I've seen hurricanes, I've seen typhoons, I've seen earthquakes, I've seen forest fires, but I've never yet seen northern lights.
You know what? You sound much this is stronger than the cat with the 9 lives that I ever known.
So anyway, one day I want to see the northern lights. I mean, I've seen lots of video and they look beautiful. And to me, they're actually something that's very, very cool. And in fact, Mike, I think that's what we're going to talk about tonight. How
Really?
to maybe influence our mood.
Influence the mood, yes, because actually today is really a good time to talk about it. Come to think about it, I think the whole world, not just Malaysia, I think the whole world easily, we are up to 3 weeks and some is more than a month already that they are being stuck at home due to the government regulations, restrictions in terms of how people can move. So now my first question is, when we are really staying at home for such a long time, at the beginning, everybody is really happy. Oh, I don't have to get up early. I don't have to go to office and work. And I have my family with me. I got my favorite cookies, my favorite drinks and whatever. But then that probably stales easily after a week or so. People are like, can you stop? Can I stop seeing the same stuff? And I think there's quite a bit of people who also commented that I feel very moody. I get depression. I sort of get, this unhappiness just staying at home. So what's actually the reasons behind all of this stuff?
Well, Mike, it's interesting because right now, statistically, 90% of all the world is under a lockdown. So people are being affected. And it's amazing when you were talking to me about mood and my background here, which is the Northern Lights. Your mood can be heavily influenced by the food that you eat. And your mood can also be influenced by things like stress, by things like boredom. Let's say, example, in the US, millions of people now are losing their jobs. So they are having financial problems. That can influence your mood too. And here's the interesting thing. It actually starts in our gut. The food that we eat, the gut microbes have a huge influence on our brain. And if you're eating junk food, if you're not getting a balanced diet, the dopamines, the serotonins, all of those chemicals that actually signal your brain to be happy start to go into decline. So you end up, and you don't even know, you're getting into a negative mindset, a negative mood. So we need to talk a little bit how to counter this.
All right, I see. So what you're saying is that prolonged confinement in a fixed place can actually trigger changes in the chemicals of the brains that without us knowing it is automatic. Is that right?
Actually, it is right. When you are under stress for whatever reason, whether it's due to confinement or, as I said, it's because you're having financial difficulty, and in almost the whole world's case now, it's this confinement issue. Here's what happens, and I'll try and keep it short and simple. Mike, have you ever gotten up in front of a crowd of people and gotten so nervous that you get what they call butterflies in your stomach?
Yeah. I always have that before I go to the live show like this.
Okay, all right. And I even know professional athletes, of professional athletes, that when they are getting ready to go out and, let's say, play a professional American football game, 5 minutes before the game, they actually vomit or they throw up. So what is it that changes this whole concept between our gut or our butterflies in our stomach and our brain? And that's where this whole issue of gut health, probiotics, serotonin, dopamines, all of these things, believe it or not, affect our brain, because these compounds, many of these compounds, are actually produced mainly in the gut.
Good. So you know what? The crazy stuff did not just stop with people, just having a moody space. I think there's a clip that I just want to share with everybody what some people around the world are doing to get out of the moody mood. So can you have a look then?
Wow.
They're actually trying
pretending to be trash bags.
World shortage of masks due to the coronavirus. But we have the answer in our souvenir shop here. And what it is one of these. It's obviously very patriotic. It's a Union Jack and it fits perfectly. As you'll see, you just pop it over your face like this.
Oh, no, yes.
Oh my goodness.
I hope you have enjoyed that short little clip. People are trying to skirt around the restrictions by the government in rubbish bags. And then we have got, this guy trying to promote, was that panties, as a form of alternative for mask. And then we have got the dad who's probably sick of the kids trying to find him. And he came out with some painting just to hide behind it. All right, I thought these are really, really innovative things that people are doing to make themselves so much more relaxed. But seriously, I mean, when people are moody and they do need to entertain themselves, how can we actually help to bring up that mood?
Well, again, Mike, we've talked about it in our other sessions, and I want to reinforce it this evening, especially. We really need to take care of gut health or nutrition, balanced nutrition, because whether we like it or not, typically when we are in a lockdown situation, we are not eating as many good foods or as balanced a diet as we should. So we have to make sure that we're taking care of those very important chemicals like serotonin, like dopamine. And we also need to make sure that we're getting good probiotics, because the probiotics are so important to gut health. And that's one of the reasons that I'm really happy Elkin has our lactose and our lactose S. The probiotics that are in there are tremendous boosts to the gut health, which in turn help us to have those happy mood chemicals, or what they call happy hormone chemicals, that serotonin and the dopamine.
Right. So what would be the sort of, because I hear that you are here emphasizing a lot of gut health, and that actually brought me to that term, gut-brain axis. So I'm not sure if this is a very common term around people who are not really, science-oriented. So probably could you give us some concept behind that, and probably how does it apply in our current situation that everybody is, experiencing at this point in time?
Sure. Like when we first started this evening, I mentioned to you, people sometimes get what they call butterflies in the stomach. It's because the gut and the brain are directly connected by millions of nerves, and those nerves and the signals that are sent between the gut and the brain are influenced by lots of different chemicals. As I've already mentioned, the dopamine and the serotonin are the two major feel-good chemicals that we need to look for. Most people really don't think about the gut and the brain being connected directly. And yet so many studies are showing that when you have bad gut health, or you've got digestive issues, or you're having bowel movement problems, you can't be happy. And everybody thought it was just because, well, okay, I'm not feeling too great in my stomach today. But there literally is this brain-gut axis, or these points that cross. And if we're not aware of it, we actually can end up with very serious health problems. So there's a few things that we can do to make sure that our gut health can support our mood and our brain health.
Wow, that's really good. So what would be the products that Alcon have that we can probably utilize to complement this particular concept that you are sharing with us?
Okay. Again, the body is such a complex organism, and there's so many millions of influencing things that take place. But let me just try to highlight a few of them. Probiotics are tremendously important because probiotics are how we digest our food. It's how we produce those chemical signals and hormones that go to the brain and produce this uplifting or this improved mood. One thing that we all could do is fish oil. EPA, DHA, they're tremendously important in supporting dopamine levels. There was one study I was reading, Mike, that said it was an animal study, but they showed that by feeding, and these were done on rats, but by feeding rats a high level of fish oil, it increased their dopamine levels by 40%. So all kinds of studies, both on animals and human trials, have been done. Very important to make sure we've got that good chemical signaling going on between our gut and our brain.
Great. So our fish oil is more than capable of supporting that particular functionality that we are looking at then.
Absolutely. So let's just run down a quick list, if you will. Let's talk about the EPA, DHA. Let's talk about our lactose S, which has so many fantastic probiotics and other things in it. One thing that some people don't realize is that vitamin B as in boy or as in Baghdad, is really important to maintaining these high levels of signaling chemicals. And spirulina is full of vitamin B. Vitamin D, it's a sunshine vitamin. Excuse me, even though we don't have anything specifically that I'm aware of with Alcon products that addresses vitamin D, get some sunshine. Even though you're under lockdown, you gotta go out and get some sunshine and take some products to raise your vitamin D level. Caffeine, coffee, LaPont, go get a caffeine coffee from LaPont. Excuse me, it's gonna help you a lot.
Interesting. I didn't even realize that caffeine from LaPont can actually play a strong part as well. So I'm going to put my orders for all of the people around me straight away. Cool. All right. I guess today is really, we have to keep it short because I think we probably will be looking forward for a lot of our members who are look forward to the address by the Prime Minister in a moment. So I guess it has been very information regarding the brain, the chemicals, the dopamine, and how supplements can come in to help. I probably think that with all of this information, people who are being cooped up at home we find that they can improve their happiness not through doing a funny or stupid things, like dancing in the kitchen, with all the whatever special moves they have, but rather they can actually assist it through this consumption of the supplements, isn't it?
For sure. The most important message that we've had for these last several weeks is balanced nutrition, good nutrition, proper nutrition. So take care of your gut health, take care of your mood. Excuse me, I'm choking myself. Take care of all the good things that make life enjoyable.
Very nice, very well said. Thank you, Mike. So I think we probably say goodbye to everybody. And just before we go, Mr. Digital will have something to share separately straight after this session. So see you guys. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.